Alright, what's going on YouTube? Zen Rahman, and in today's video, I'll be talking about four reasons why you should be having carbohydrates. And of course, I'm not a nutritionist and dietitian, and this is not 1995. So, in any ideas that are out there, or any people who believe that carbs are bad for you, carbs are your enemy, carbs are making you fat, well, like I said, it's not 1995, it's 2020, and you should wake up and if you have issues with the shape of your body pertaining to you holding more body fat than you want to, then that's down to you consuming more calories than you need for maintenance, okay? Because of you consistently eating in a calorie surplus and not because of carbohydrates, okay? It's calories in, calories out, laws of thermodynamics, you can't change that. They're not different for different people. So if you're at a body weight that you're not happy with, pertaining to it being more than what you want to be, then that is because you can't keep the fucking fork down. Okay, so like I said, carbs are not bad for you. It's calories in, calories out, and unless you're someone who's obese or morbidly obese, you don't really need to cut down on your carb intake. Doing so, if you're obese or morbidly obese, would help, and then you can get back to consuming a normal volume of carbs when you're at a healthier body weight. Okay, but for most normal people, okay, carbs have a lot of benefits, and you should ideally be having them. Okay, so I mean, anyone who would do a diet that excludes carbohydrates, particularly a keto diet, I mean, if it's sustainable for you, I think it would be sustainable for only those people who like fat and protein more than carbs, or who don't really care about food, who don't really care about what they eat. So, unless you're that kind of a person, or unless you feel great on a keto diet and you feel like you can sustain it and it works for you, then that's great for you. But I'm talking about most people, and I believe most people would take a cue from this video and find some valid reasons as to why they do not need to exclude carbohydrates from your diet. Okay, so let's get into the four reasons, and I'm not going into the chemistry of it, okay, a lot. So I'm just telling you the facts that I know. So what you choose to believe, that's your decision. Okay, so be a little open-minded. Okay, so the number one reason I have as to why you should consume carbohydrates is because carbs help you regulate your hormones. Okay, so hormones like insulin, your growth hormone, glucagon, and a number of other hormones, they're regulated in the right way, combined with physical exercise, of course, and because of your intake of carbohydrates when you eat carbohydrates. Okay, so in order for you to keep these hormones well regulated, you want to be having carbohydrates and to maintain a good hormonal balance for your body to be in. Okay, the number two reason I have as to why you should have carbohydrates is because carbohydrates, they enhance your brain function. Okay, so they reduce your serotonin levels, and overall this would reduce your perception of effort. Okay, so I mean, like if you're working out or whatever physical activity you're doing in your day, it would feel less strenuous, or at least your brain would have that perception of you needing to do less effort for a task which your brain would perceive as being more strenuous, requiring more effort if you're on fewer carbohydrates or lesser amount of carbohydrates. Okay, so I mean, if you want a practical example of it, you could try doing a carb cycle, like do high carbs on one day and do low carbs on the other day, like significantly lower, and keep your physical activity levels the same. And you'll feel a difference in the perception of effort, or just how well your brain is functioning. Okay, so maybe you can try that. So, and then intake of carbohydrates would also make you feel more focused and motivated. So that's something you can try for yourself. Do a high carb day and a low carb day, and you will see the difference in your brain function. Okay, the number three reason I have is that carbohydrates are more readily available energy source. Okay, so in both the macros, fats and carbohydrates, the body uses them for energy. But carbohydrates, they're faster digesting. Okay, they are more easily digested. Fats slow down your metabolism, and even though they are essential, okay, the carbohydrates are a more readily available and easily digestible energy source. So it is more readily available energy. Okay, so if you're having a balanced diet and if you're consuming fats and carbs in a balanced way, then you would be feeling more energetic overall. You would be having better workouts because the carbs are a more readily available energy source, and also because they help you replenish your glycogen stores, and you're able to utilize your glycogen better when you're consuming carbs. So that is something that you want to do, and yeah, overall, because of the lesser perception of effort that your brain would feel, and because your body would have more energy to draw from the carbs, you would be getting better workouts when you consume carbohydrates. Okay, the last reason I have as to why you should consume carbohydrates is because of the psychological aspect of it. Okay, because in general, human beings have an affinity for carbohydrates. Like I said, if you're someone who doesn't care about what they eat and only eat for fuel, or if you like your fats and proteins more than carbohydrates, then of course it won't apply to you. But in general, that is, most people, they have an affinity for carbohydrates. They like consuming carbohydrates. That is why you want to consume carbohydrates, your bread and rice and pasta and all that good stuff. And that is also why it is easier for you to eat carbohydrates. Like the same volume of carbs and proteins, it would be easier for you to eat the carbohydrates than eating the same volume of protein. Okay, so I mean, you don't really want to take that aspect of it out of your diet. Okay, so you want to be satisfied with what you're eating. So this would also make your diet more sustainable, and that is when a diet is effective, when you can sustain it and do it for a long term. So the last point I have is the psychological aspect of it. So in general, like I said, human beings, they like to have carbohydrates. So that's not something you want to take out from your diet, and also because of all the other reasons that I listed. And there may be other reasons as well as to why you should not be excluding carbohydrates from your diet. So those were four reasons why, as per my opinion, you should not give up on carbohydrates. And like I said, if you're not at a body weight that you're satisfied with, if you weigh more than what you want to weigh, if you have more body fat than you want, then that is not down to this just the carbohydrates by themselves. Overall, you're consistently consuming calories in a surplus, so you're eating more calories than you need. So as long as you can keep your calories in check and eat at a maintenance or at a deficit, if you're trying to lose weight, lose body fat, then you should be fine consuming all macros. So that was that for this video. Let me know what you thought. Leave your comments, like and share the video. Subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.